Okay, so what are the two most important tenets of online freelance writing? In my opinion, the two most important tenets are one, the ability to type fast, and two, having a very strong vocabulary. If you have just these two things, in my personal opinion, you really can do well as an online freelance writer and make a decent amount of money. The reason I say these things is because the way the online freelance writing space has emerged in current times, where in terms of volume of work, there's absolutely no dearth. But when it comes to quality of work, it is extremely questionable. Now, when that happens, and when you have to play the volume game, you have to have the ability to type really fast. And along with that, if you have a very strong vocabulary where you're able to say the same thing in so many different ways, then of course you have the ability to create different kinds of content, using a different set of words when probably the overall implication is somewhat similar. Say, I like a particular girl and I want to express my feelings. Now, there are so many different ways beyond just say those three words of I love you, in which you can say the same thing or imply the same thing, convey the same thing, refer to the same thing. Now, I'm again using different phrases. And now, in the context of that girl, I may say, I adore you, I have feelings for you, you turn me on, which has a sexual connotation, which may or may not always be the case. There are certain things, there are things which happen. My heart starts fluttering when you're around. I just think about you, and there's this, you give me goosebumps. Now, again, these are all different ways of expressing certain feelings where the eventual, your implication is in that direction where you're trying to convey positive feelings for a particular person of the opposite gender. So my example or instance in this case, which can be applied to enormous number of cases out there, is that you should be able to describe things in different words. And because see, I'll tell you what, now I get so many projects where probably the volume of work is quite large. For example, there might be, instead of 10 articles, there might be, say, 50 articles to be written on a particular topic. Now, of course, a lot of people would be like, hey, how can I come out with so many articles which are around the same topic or the same niche, same sort of overall area in which I have to write. Now, but if I have a good vocabulary, I am somehow able to come out with similar, implications, but yet differentially worded content. You get it? So that's why I feel. And again, now if you really are, okay, let's talk about success as a freelancer. Always, people think that, oh, I've done so many projects or I've had so many years of experience. I don't think, when it especially comes to the online freelance space, it's not so much about your past credentials or as much as it is about what you're doing now. And success, truly, I look at it more in terms of money. Now, if you look at my Elance profile link below in the video, I've made upwards of $55,000 at the moment. I'm striving for 60,000 anytime soon. I'm not saying it's a lot of money. By any means am I saying that. It's taken a lot of time and effort, and overall, if I compare the time and effort to the amount earned, probably it's not commensurate. But nonetheless, I'm telling you, in the online freelance space, for an Indian to sit in India and make that much, having convinced clients from around the world that yes, I'm good enough for you to actually have confidence in me and give me the work, I think it is a big deal. So therefore, I consider my achievements to be good enough without being spectacular in any way. And for me to have done that, I've actually achieved that through some of these things. And that's why I feel that what I'm saying actually makes a lot of sense. So coming back to the talk about when I mentioned about articles. Now, there are so many articles, and for me to actually make sense out of them, wherein I'm actually capitalizing on that project by maybe those per article, that project doesn't pay me a lot. But when I take the total, say I have 50 articles into, let's say, $10 each. that's netting me 500. 500 is a decent amount. So for me to be able to actually make the most of it, I should be able to deliver quickly. Now if those 50 articles take me say 10 days, it will probably not make much sense, because eventually I'll be making what, $50 a day average. Whereas if I'm able to churn it out in within a say 2 days or 3 days, then obviously per day I've made much better. And if I'm able to churn it out in maybe one day, then it's quite good that one day I've been able to churn it out, client is reviewed quickly, and say the next day I'm paid. So within a day I've actually made $500. So that's what I'm saying. Timing is extremely important, which is where the importance of being able to type fast comes to the picture. So in conclusion, I'll reiterate, I've already elaborated on the vocabulary part. As far as timing is concerned, seriously, trust me that if you're able to type fast, you'll definitely be able to earn better. So when it comes to success as an online freelance writer, my way of judging success is typically in terms of money and not past credentials. And when it comes to making good money as an online freelance writer, what I have typically seen is that if you're able to type fast and if you have a good vocabulary, usually more often than not, you'll be a successful online freelance writer. Cheers.